just let them play how they want to play. All right, blue-white Stoneblade. My question going into this, and this is a big one for me, is there a compelling reason to not be playing this deck as Jeskai? I'm not sure there is. Like, the mana is so good in 3-color decks in Modern that I feel like there's not a compelling reason to stay 2 colors. In fact, one of the biggest downsides to splashing a 3rd color in Modern is your mana base becomes more painful. And going into Jeskai in an archetype like this gives you Lightning Helix, which makes your burn matchup better than the lands are going to offset in terms of dealing damage to you. So that's something I'm going to want to think about. Like, were there matches in this league where we gained meaningful advantages by being just straight 2-color? Yeah, they are anti-trumpet. Feedback like that is the reason Wizard of the Coast doesn't invite me to things like the event today. And why, despite having some of the best numbers of anyone streaming Magic, they don't invite me to things like the Mythic Invitationals and stuff like that. That type of feedback is considered inappropriate and not reasonable. Yeah, I'm gonna be okay, Swaglow. At the end of the day, it does make me smirk to know that I certainly make more money per year than the petty people who are upset that I criticize Wizards products. So, like, you know, I'm gonna be all right. This is a job and it pays me okay. The community keeps me around. The community appreciates the feedback that I give in the manner in which I give it. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Reg. I appreciate that. Did you choose a different list for this deck? The donation deck is different. The deck that's linked in the queue is 1 card different than this. Is 1 card different than this. There's 2 different blue-white Stoneblade decks in the queue. There's another one further down that's different, Vortex. I only see 1. There's 1 at the very top of today's queue. So I sorted some of the deck lists for today into the format is today at the top, because otherwise they were listed pretty deep down. It's a little bit too late. It might have been right to force pitching Jace on their turn, or like maybe flash and Snapcaster Mage and block, but yeah, we're unfortunately dead here. I mean, being lower to the ground is definitely better in matchups like this, for sure. I mean, Modern's always been a format about kind of picking an identity and then sticking with it. You, like, pick what you want to beat and you pick what you want to lose to. And this deck's obviously trying to go a little bit bigger up the curve with what it's trying to do. And whether or not that's a good choice in Modern is going to depend on, like, what decks you play against, right? So, like, for example, against Burn, I'd rather be lower to the ground. But against something like Bring to Niv, I'd rather have Cryptic Command. So as always, you can find my schedule, including what formats I intend to play on what days on my website. I will not be streaming Magic tomorrow because Magic Online has 9 hours of downtime. Which again, to give that feedback that's not appreciated, 9 hours of downtime on a weekday is unreasonable for your application in 2019. Please get it together, Wizards of the Coast. Magic Online is down from 5 a.m. Central till 2 p.m. Central tomorrow for an update. I think I'm actually, there's a new digital card game called Mythgard that I was playing a little bit of over the weekend. I think I might fire up and stream a little bit of that tomorrow morning. So I don't feel like playing Dead Standard, and I can't play Magic Online. It's not an option. Yeah, Nox streamed a little bit of it. Cryptarian was streaming some of it too. The gameplay's really good. And like, so not only does the gameplay seem reasonable, but as someone who like does some software stuff, I really appreciate good software. As someone who spent a lot of time using software written by Wizards of the Coast, I appreciate good software. And like, for example, the Mythgard. So like the Twitch extension for Magic Arena, which like, okay, here's a good example. Magic Arena, I wonder if the Twitch extension is going to work for the Magic Arena patch today. It hasn't for the last couple. The Mythgard game has their Twitch extension built right into the client. So instead of depending on their community and hoping third-party developers keep their Twitch extension updated, the developers of the game are just like maintaining the Twitch extension. You literally just like check a box in your game settings and it enables it. I think I'm just spell quellering the first thing I have an opportunity to here. They have like land second blaze. I'm pretty sad here, but I want to just get a clock into play. Well, their partner program was separate from any amount of money I gave them, Marty. Their partner program is based on, like, what your viewer metrics look like. Oh yeah, that's another thing. They have objective metrics for what qualifies you for their creator programs. Instead of just leaving it subjective and being petty, they just have a list of requirements that you have to meet to get some bonuses being a creator and making stuff for them. So they actually applied for their program and they gave me some freebies because of my metrics. Yeah, they went to open beta like last week. Ink Outro 2 Pierce, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. All right, we're dual wielding Batterskulls here. Cometh at me. Oh, and as someone who's a peak casual, this is actually the reason why I started to look at it. Their game has a 2v2 mode, which is like just a super requested game mode. A lot of these new projects just like realistically don't have a chance to go anywhere because it's a hard market to gain in, but to break into. But like 2v2 is something there's been a ton of requests for. So like if someone's actually able to do that reasonably, I feel like they have a chance to be successful. And they're on mobile and stuff too, which is great. All right, please have creatures and 2-mana spells. The game we're chatting about is one called Mythgard. I'm going to stream a little bit of it tomorrow morning, I think. Since Moto's down. Another really sweet thing they do, if you decide to download it and give it a try, and this is something that I've wished just like every digital card game since forever would do, is they have a pool of community built constructed decks that are I've only played a few of them, so I don't know if they're all reasonably competitive, but just by creating an account, you can play with these pre-built community submitted decks from a pool that you get 2 of at a time to play with, that you don't need to own the cards to play with them card for card. And the 2 that you have access to rotate twice per week. Really, really sweet way to let people sample construct it without making them play bad decks, basically. Like, see what the actual game is about. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Eternal. Eternal is basically Fisher-Price Magic. Hey, thanks for the 3 months. First time paying actual dollars for a sub. Love your content and happy to finally give support. Well, thanks for keeping me around, Manic Engineer. Subscribers like you are the reason I'm able to be here doing what I do. And we died. I don't know about that. Counter spells are actually pretty good in this matchup. Good morning, Jin. Thank you for the very generous tier 3. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I don't think I want to force this. Like, they're escape shift deck, so force could be useful there. I'm not talking about the actual decks. I'm just talking about the actual mechanics of Eternal. If I wanted to play Magic Light, I'd rather just play Magic. So like the other games that I found myself enjoying, like the Warhammer TCG, like this Mythgard game, they're uniquely different games. They're not just a variation of Magic the Gathering with a different skin that plays Pokemon that plays in very similar manners. Eternal is like someone asked themselves, what if we stripped out a bunch of stuff from Magic to make it play on a cell phone? Well, what would we have to do to make that happen? The Fred, thanks to 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome. Yeah. So like, how do we optimize and streamline Magic to reduce downtime? In a world before Arena, Eternal was kind of okay, but like Arena streamlined actual Magic in a really elegant way, which is nice. All right, this could give them an untapped land, but I also don't have an answer to a second primetime. So I'm going to click one of these and hope they don't draw an untapped land, which is like pretty hopeful, right? Huh. Maybe I'm actually supposed to force that. Yeah, I'm probably supposed to force that. Yeah, we gotta draw an untapped land here now, so we can Cryptic their primetime next turn. Wow. There are actual 0 copies in the sideboard for this matchup. If you want stickers, tokens, or pins, feel free to DM me, Draven. The stickers, tokens, and pins weren't really selling at all, so I stopped paying for a storefront for them. So if you want them, DM me and we can work something out. Just like a PayPal donation. They're the Jester logo, and there's three different Jester logo poses. Well, my opponent accidentally clicked through their first turn, so that's a good start towards us being able to win. You think they're just flexing on us? Number of times I've muted and unmuted your stream before noticing the mic muted. I got it's embarrassing. Yeah, unfortunately, Moto doesn't really have meaningful background noises. And by that I mean their background noises exist, but they're so bad I'd prefer they're not on while we stream. Well, Spell Snare is not looking particularly good, huh? Hey, pitches to Force. Who's excited for them to just make 6 land drops in a row and cast Primeval Titan on us to die? Activated my trap cards, opponent. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Listen, a lot of really good Magic players told me that Jace the Mind Sculptor was going to ruin Modern. So I can only assume that my opponent is moments away from conceding, since I am currently sculpting their mind. Can only assume. I'm actually throwing back 2 Spell Quellers here. Throw back a Queller and a Cryptic. Almost forgot to plus this. Tireless Tracker resolves. Alright, so I don't really need another Spell Queller. I guess I can just shuffle it away. Yeah, I guess I Jace... I'm gonna go ahead and have Teferi exile this, or get rid of this clue here. Make my opponent a little bit clueless. Alright, sweet. We hit a land. Let's throw back Spell Queller and Stoneforge Mystic. Let's play this. Now, part of the problem here is that we're kind of at a point in the game where I can't really beat Valakut the Molten Pinnacle as part of the problem. Like, if my opponent just, like, keeps making land drops, I can't beat Valakut dealing 3 damage every turn. So I do really need to find a copy of... I really need to find a copy of Field of Ruin, which we do have 4 of. Ideally we're looking for a field. Counter bounce actually is not a terrible idea here. I guess I'm just gonna Spell Queller this. Doing alright, Kid Martin. Alright, there's cards on top of my deck that I don't really want. Let's shuffle. Alright, Mana Leak is potentially still live. Hey, look, there's a Field of Ruin. Perfect. Alright, so you're saying there's a chance. That's all I really need, chat. All I need is a chance. Take a chance on me. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. So, like, people are talking about, like, there's no cards in our sideboard for this matchup. I don't actually think this matchup is that bad. Like, I know we got dumpstered game 1, and, like, you're gonna randomly lose a lot of game 1s when you're playing a fair deck in Modern, but, like, I don't think generically this matchup is terrible for us. Between like Field of Ruin and some other stuff, I feel like we've got a lot of reasonable stuff going on for ourselves here. Yeah, exactly, Burgle. And like, because we have a bunch of Field of Runes to like keep their natural Valakuts from killing us potentially, I think we're gonna be okay here. This game especially, we're currently very far ahead. Second Valakut, you say? Alright, well, let's end step 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's hang tight. Alright, so I think I want to dig as deep as possible for another Field of Ruin here. So I'm going to hit them with this. I'm going to Teferi bounce this. Then I'm gonna Jace Storm. This is them trying to recast their thing, not realizing Teferi prevents it. That's what this pause is here. Should we sculpt their mind? No. They literally have a card in play that I can't beat at the moment. So no, we definitely should not be sculpting them. We should be trying to find an answer to the thing I currently can't beat. So the 12 months of support there, Wigan. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. We're running out of options, chat. We're running out of options. Well, Thanks for the 12 months of support there, Wagon. I appreciate that. Already have a sword. It's not looking good for our hero, chat. I think my best option there was to try and find the Field of Ruin. All right. I really don't want to bounce this still. Because, like, if I burn the Cryptic Command and they prime time me, I'm, like, dead to rights, right? Oh, buddy old pal. Man, playing fair decks in Modern, chat. I tell you what. Playing fair decks in Modern. Robbie, thank you for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting me on this month with that. Missed, drew 4 cards there, missed a land. More importantly, missed the Field of Ruin. They didn't have a land last turn, though, so it's, like, pretty good for us. I guess I'm just activating this, so I have to discard one less card. I think the black-red aggro deck can carry to Mythic on already. I think that deck's great. We played that archetype into Mythic multiple seasons. I don't understand, chat. We have 2 previously banned cards in our deck. Why aren't we winning? Are we winning? It's kind of hard to judge, right? Like, we're like a little bit ahead right now, I think. I mean, if they have second scape shift, I get to Force of Negation them, right? Deal. Resolves. My opponent just learned this lesson. This happened a couple of turns ago. You may not recast that spell. Thanks. They're a Magic player they never learned. Ain't that the truth? Alright. So we were on the play. Our opponent didn't understand how Spell Queller Teferi worked, and they skipped their first turn, so we won. Let's see if we can actually win a game where all those things don't happen. This hand is fine. This hand is, something. Fine. Fine sounds like a descriptor. That's true. That's true. A lot of really good Magic the Gathering players assured me that turn 3 Batterskull was unfair and unreasonable for Modern. Man, it feels good to have been on the right side of history. Fighting for Stoneforge's freedom. Weg! Thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Hope you're having a good one. I traded Devoted Druid and Infect decks for Grixis Shadow. Any tips for a newbie? Be lucky, don't be unlucky. Our opponent took some of the linear out of their deck to be interactive. God bless us, everyone. Just started playing Pokemon Go a couple weeks ago. Any advice on who to power up / resources you recommend to learn on your own? I play Pokemon Go like pretty casually. My number one piece of advice is don't spend dust and stuff powering up Pokemon until you're a much higher level. Because what level you are dictates how high your Pokemon start on average a lot of the time. So you'll spend less dust powering things up later if you start later. If I could choose between Pod and Splinter Twin decks, which would it be? Pod, not close. Birthing Pod is love. It's a sweeter. Birthing Pod's a sweeter card. What's my favorite Pokemon? Growing up, my favorite Pokemon was Sandshrew. And actually, in Pokemon Go, I have a regular Sandshrew and an Alolan Sandshrew, or Sandslash now. I evolved them that are Jake and Declan, named after my kids. Because they're my favorites. Splinter Twin play patterns are miserable. Change my mind. I'm not going to change your mind. Splinter Twin play patterns are miserable. Modern is a format of misery, though. Every good deck in Modern is miserable on some axis or degree. Keeping a card banned because it's miserable is hypocritical and stupid in terms of Modern. So I'm not going to change your mind. I'm going to tell you you're right. I'm just going to say if we kept things banned or banned things in Modern because they were miserable, we'd ban half the format. Should have done that in response because I drew Spell Snare. Should have done that in response. Feeling kind of dead here. Their fair game plan here is kind of giving us the business. Vanafear. Thanks for the 13 months, Kyle. Looking forward to playing Once Upon a Time in that deck. All the green creature decks need more Once Upon a Time. Orinel, thank you for the 12 months of support. I appreciate you keeping me around. And Padtron, thanks for the 7 months. Good morning, folks. Happy Tuesday. All right, we're at that portion of the game where my opponent's land drops deal 3 points of damage, so I probably can't win anymore. Need to play this and take a prime time away, otherwise we're super duper dead. Oh, double scape shift, is that all? That's all? Alright, no big. It did, Orinel. Thank you. Yeah, yikes. I was worried about having enough time to play 4 fair decks today. I should have assumed at least one of them was going to be a dumpster fire. Therein lies my mistake, chat. I didn't assume at least one of them was going to be a flaming pile of poop. Thanks for the 5 months, RPG Fun. I appreciate that. Welcome. So, I've learned that Arena is not supposed to be done patching till noon on Thursday, because apparently that's just a reasonable time frame to have downtime until noon or 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, Thursday, their patch window is 8 a.m. PST to 10 a.m. PST. Which is 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern, or 10 a.m. to noon Cornfield. So I have to adjust my schedule again. So I need to figure out what exactly I want to do. Not sure I want to start late. Maybe we'll do. I'm gonna stream some Mythgard tomorrow morning. Maybe if Mythgard goes well tomorrow morning, we'll do a little bit of that Thursday morning while we wait for Arena to update too. No, Stormtrooper. Honestly, the 5-color Bring to Niv is probably one of the best, most recent performing control decks. Mythgard, G-A-R-D. It's another digital card game that released into open beta recently that has a lot of neat features in it. The gameplay seems really good. And it has a mobile version, and it has like a 2v2 mode, and it has a single player campaign mode if you're into that sort of thing. Seems like it does a lot of things that I've always heard people say they want out of card games. Oh no, not Stoneforge Mystic, chat. Hey, thanks for the very generous tier 3, Dude Light. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. And this is another good example of, like, I think I'm just playing my own Stoneforge, because, like, pathing them on the draw while I'm on the draw sounds really miserable, right? Like, not having access to Bolt and Helix feels pretty terrible. Bump Blue-Red Flash. Will do, will do. Yeah, looks like black-white taxes. For people who are interested in looking for some deck ideas, I have started filling in some of the build-arounds, and there's viewer-submitted deck lists as well. So as always, you can see decks that are coming up on stream in the deck queue on my website. If you're looking for Ellen Drain standard ideas, you can find some there. Cometh at me, Batterskull. I'm just gonna go ahead and take this hit so I can hold up Spell Queller here. Hey, Bill Smash, thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Any cards I'm excited to build around? I really like bad flashy things. So looking forward to playing with Brazen Borrower a little bit. Yeah, there's a few different Once Upon a Time decks in the deck queue, Python. I have a draft of 4-color Saheeli with Once Upon a Time. We're gonna shove it into a few different things though. IB Karma, sometimes when you resub on desktop, you have to refresh to send a notification through. Welcome back at any rate. Happy Tuesday. Taking 3 days off of streaming is always a little nerve-wracking to a degree. Because whenever you take extra time off from streaming, the sub count just tends to plummet. Most of the time it builds back up. That's one of those things where, like, the first couple of times that happen, it's like, yikes. Crockett! Thanks for the 5 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Ah, yes. The turn 5 Aether Vial. A true classic. I'm going to bottom that. I'm going to cast another Opt here. So pretty good chance that we, like, hit our lanes here regardless. They have a flying blocker. We get like Squadron Hawk tier. Another Stoneforge, sure. I assume they're just getting... Oh, they're going to get something and put it into play. It's a little scary. Yep. Apparently, I have half a year. Thanks for the safe for work content that you're able to listen to Magic while working. Well, thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate it. All right, so in response to this sword trigger, we're going to go ahead and float a mana with this island here. And then with the floating mana, we'll go ahead and pick this up. And then I think I just hang tight here. I guess I could Teferi bounce the sword, but if I Teferi bounce the sword and they hit a land, they could put it into play, equip it, and hit me. So I think I want to just like make sure the sword doesn't hit me. Is the ideal. It's also possible I'm supposed to just, like, kill their silent clearing here. I'm gonna go ahead and do that now before they have a chance to play a land and cycle it. The wild card system is busted. God bless never having to engage with MTG Finance, huh? That is. I must say that is the single best part about Magic Arena is just like getting to ignore MTG Finance. I'd like to path your Squire. Opponent's had enough. Alright. Huh? This is probably a Supreme Verdict matchup. It's probably a second Batterskull matchup. It's like more fair grindy stuff. Blessed Alliance seems a little bit medium. Force of Negation probably isn't very good. Is all you tweet about Mythgard? What do I think so far? I really like the gameplay so far. I gave him $100 last night so I could buy a bunch of packs and like build some constructed decks. So I think I'm gonna stream a little bit of it tomorrow morning probably, since Magic Online is down and I don't feel like playing a dead format on Arena. Maybe Blessed Alliance is better than Mana Leak. I could also see some Timelies being fine. Spell Snare could be hit or miss too, although there are Stoneforge decks, so Spell Snare is nice for that. And like I tweeted Third Degree, from a tech standpoint, the developers behind Mythgard seem to like. I seem to be identifying features that I think are important as well, so that's nice to see. Rejection for the Eldrazi's. Maybe Rejection's better. Rejection does tag the random artifacts and stuff too. Yeah, Moto's down till 2 p.m. Central tomorrow. It's down from, it has 9 hours of downtime. Okie doke. Watsy, you're behind the uptake, Bill Smash. Watsy already bailed back and rolled back support, rolled back double wildcards. The arena event is this afternoon and I did not get invited. Which, if you're new here, that's kind of expected and the norm. So, I will not be playing in the arena event this afternoon because Wizards of the Coast does not like me. Alright, Wizards of the Coast is a generic company. Someone who makes decisions at Wizards of the Coast does not like me. Speaking of, funny story. One of my contacts at Cool Stuff Inc., they included me in a group convo. They're like, for all you folks streaming the streamer event tomorrow, Cool Stuff Inc.'s running a promo, which, to plug the sponsor, Cool Stuff Inc.'s running a promo that it's like 10% off or something on Eldraine singles, Eldraine singles, however it's pronounced. And, I was just like, oh, it's cute that you think I get invited. It's cute. Part of me, and because I'm a cynic, yeah, so I would not be surprised if part of the reason historic support got rolled back was because they rolled back the wildcard difference. Which, for those of you that haven't been following, what I mean by that is that they announced, I know they're going to get to blink this germ, but that takes their turn, so I think that's fine. They announced that there's not going to be an always-on historic queue. It's going to be like 1 month out of every 3. Which is sad. Which is one of the things I talked about. I mentioned that I would be surprised. Sorry, there's not an always-on best of 3 queue. There's going to be a best of 1 unranked historic queue. Which, yeah. Which, in my mind, basically means it's not supported. I think we're dead here. Yeah, not having Lightning Bolt and Helix feels... I think I might be done with this deck after this. This match. It really... I talked about... I wanted to, like, try and get a feel for, like... If I felt like that the Bolts and Helixes missing felt like a big deal. And, like, all these creature matchups just feel so rancid, not having non-path removal. Thanks for the 14 months, Murphy. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for the 17 months, Oprick. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I mean, kind of big kitty fan. It's gonna send people who are interested in playing Historic on Arena to other games like Mythgard, like Warhammer, like other video games, right? Like people who wanted this thing. I feel like Wizards has this incorrect idea in their mind that by like hamstringing support for formats like Historic and Brawl, they're gonna get more people to play Standard. When the reality is they're going to get a lot of people to just play other games. I'm looking forward to New Standard too. So we've played Jeskai Tempo in the past with and without Stoneforge, and I think I prefer it without Stoneforge, honestly. In fact, yeah, I'm gonna be done with this league. This deck's pretty bad. It doesn't feel particularly exciting. I don't really feel like there's a meaningful reason to not be playing Jeskai, and like not having more efficient removal feels really bad in a lot of these matchups. So I think I'm gonna call it a day on this. Straight blue-white was a pretty big miss for me. I think there's one more in the queue that obviously we're gonna play because I took it, but that one's not going to get played for a hot second, so there are things above it. So maybe the other build is better. But all in all, I just feel like the cost of playing a third color is so low in Modern that you should just be doing it, especially when the biggest drawback is painful mana, and Jeskai gets to overcome that drawback by getting to play Lightning Helix. All right, it's been a long time since we've done a Moto-only day. So, people that aren't familiar, I don't own every card of Magic Online like I do on Arena because it's really expensive to do all that. So my sponsor, MTGO Traders, hooks us up with cards. So I'm going to run a quick ad break while I take a couple of minutes and switch decks out. I have to return the 2 decks that I have and get cards for the next 2. So we're going to take a quick ad break, and when I get back, we're going to play some Goblins followed by some Jund Super Friends. Thanks for hanging out, folks. So it's not that Historic isn't going to be supported, period. It's going to be supported spottingly. So there's always going to, so what they've said so far is there's always going to be a best of 1 Historic queue that you can play that's unranked. And currently their tentative plans are you'll only be able to play Historic as a ranked format once every 3 months. Thanks for the 14 months, Digitech Wire. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, and the ranked or unranked is whatever, but best of 1 is really not something I'm interested in. Sure, Veggie Man sounds great.
Don't make your life garbage time. Join us in Hoaglandia today by subscribing to Jeff Hoagland with Twitch Prime today.
These people also great buy their stuff. Just getting some cards from traders here really quick. There's an option to direct challenge, best of 3, sub tournaments. Well, I'm not going to be doing tournaments because running tournaments sounds like a nightmare. But I do plan, if they give us a direct challenge option for best of 3 Historic, I do plan to run a sub battle Historic day once per week. So, assuming we have a a best of 3 direct challenge option, we're gonna do 1 Historic day a week here in Hoaglandia, if there's interest in that. Someone asked about seeing Mythgard today. We'll see. If these other two leagues go really fast, I might squeeze some in, but I have to be done right about 1 o'clock today. I can't run late on Tuesdays. So, if we don't get to it today, I'm going to do some Mythgard tomorrow morning. I do not get invited to official Wizards of the Coast things. Neckfire. That's why. I will not be participating in their official event today. All right, look at that. We got some goodies. Post a screenshot in the Discord, and we'll go ahead and dive on in.